Good day all. It's 20 to 1 in the morning. This is Basil Broadcasting Truth and Therapy, BBTT. Here I am using the talking stick on my channel, the Self-Preservation Society. I've been lying in bed, awake, tossing and turning, with the thoughts of today going through my head. And I know, again, I hate to use this word, I know I'm being channeled, and as I just sat down to do this, I remembered when I was developing my physical mediumship between 2014 and 2016, and I remembered what happened to me then. I was very dogmatic on the time for the circle every week. People had to be there before, have a cup of tea, fag, relax, this, that and the other, and then we would sit at the same time. And you know, the only time you couldn't come if you was ill or on holiday. I was very dogmatic about it because people like Bert Inglis and others had instilled that into me. You know, if you make a date with spirit, then, you know, you respect that and respect them. But one week, I texted all the sitters, said there won't be a circle this week. And I said, I'll tell you why when I see you. Well, I give them their dues. They all turned up at my door. Wouldn't let them in. Because what was happening to me, people, you can laugh and scoff at this all you like. What was happening to me, I was receiving these downloads. And it took me a few years to understand them. And when I did start to, you know, get the understanding and the awareness of them, that's why I started this BitChute channel. And I now know that it's happening again. And when I spoke 2 or 3 uploads ago about sitting on the throne that morning and seeing those shafts of light and then coming outside, coming downstairs, cup of tea and a cigarette and seeing them outside as well. And I said to Shelley today, I think it was today, might have been yesterday, that I've seen him again outside. Did I say it to her? I might not have done. But it was today. I've certainly, or yesterday as it is now, on the 11th, I've seen him outside again. And here I am, sitting, and I'm going to share with you what's come to me today, or what I've witnessed today, seen today, and what's been going round and round in my head. Lying upstairs. And I got out of bed. In the end, I got out of bed. I don't have any lights on. I've got a little side light on here as I'm talking to you. But my main lights, the only time I put a light on is if I'm in the kitchen in the dark, or in the bathroom and it's dark. My main lights, I mean. And what I'll do when I go to bed at night, shut my computer off, click on my phone, so the light on the phone illuminates my pathway up the stairs to bed. And just done the same. When I finally got out of bed, put my feet on the floor, picked my phone up, clicked on it to illumine my path, and the time was 12:34. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a countdown. That's how the universe works with me. I pay attention to that. much earlier on yesterday, as it is now, I watched this Facebook reel of this woman in this brand new house with 2 young children and just a small garden, and she couldn't grow any grass in there. One of the reasons she couldn't grow any grass was because, as she said in the Facebook reel, and if anybody's got it, please send it to me. My email's below. I'll never bloody find it again. Or put it in my group on Facebook. You don't have to be a member of my group. You can just go along and post it there. Links below. Anyway, she said, one of the reasons couldn't grow, there was only 2 inches of topsoil. Because, have you noticed, people, and I've said about this before, that all these new builds, they scrape, generally on farmland, and they've scraped it all away. The first thing they do is scrape the topsoil away and then dig on it, then build on it. Where's that topsoil going? Where is that topsoil going? Anyway, the other thing is she found that what soil and whatever was there was infected with yellow jackets. I've just lied in bed and laughed to myself. These yellow jackets would eat the roots of the grass and whatever. Look up yellow jackets on the internet. And go on a journey yourself. Anyway, they would eat the roots of the grass, this, that, and that, and she tried everything to get rid of them. Didn't have a lot of money. Tried everything. And she tells you the story. And one of the things she done was borrowed her mum's chickens. And yeah, they got rid of some, but she still kept finding loads and loads and loads. And the interesting thing is, the thing that got rid of it in the end was microbes. Microbes. And here we are. Talking about this, and there's an allegory here, and find that yourself. Find that yourself, because I'm speaking of things, and I'm trying to get things to add up. Later on, after I watched that, I had a couple of people in my house, and we was talking about staying in the park. And I haven't been there for 2 years. The last time I went there was after I'd heard about Roger. I'd already left, but I'd heard about Shelley's husband Roger had passed, so I went down there to pay my respects and condolences to her. And I don't think I've been back since after that. And she stopped going as well, actually, because what I found, was that people were there with all good intention, this, that, and the other, because of the COVID scamdemic. And they were there with all good intention, but you tried to teach them about something else and see how to try and explain how far-reaching this goes. There's control and everything else over us. And they clammed up. They didn't want to know. You know, they were, and you could see the fear in them. And whatever, they just didn't want to know. So, as well-intentioned, and as much as I respect Bradley for starting this off, Stand in the Park, there's a few good things spawned from it. No doubt. But they're still standing there, and nothing's changed. Nothing's changed, because this is the thing for me. I've never been able to understand why this was ever part of it. The yellow jackets and the yellow boards. You call someone yellow to say that they're a coward. How the fuck that ever become part of that movement, I will never know. Have red boards, red for danger. But yellow boards, yellow jackets, and they will be defeated, just like that woman defeated them in her garden. Might take a bit of time, but they will be defeated, and they're not being listened to anyway. As well-intentioned as you individually and collectively are, by getting up every Sunday and going and standing in the park, nothing's changing. You might learn a little bit about, how you're seen as a citizen and not a man, but and you might try and act accordingly, and fight the system. Unless you fight the system in a totalitarian way. Sorry about that. It's now 1 minutes to 1. The system will always rise back up and beat you from another direction. And that's what I've been saying, what I've been saying recently in uploads. You've got to bring the system down, the governments down. I've seen something about it happening in New Zealand. Apparently it was being talked about on Telegram, this woman has taken over, albeit possibly in a can't think of the word, symbolic way. Nevertheless, she served papers, this, that and the other. Wonderful. I'd seen a town in America that have taken over their government buildings and thrown out, changed the locks and thrown out the elected officials because they're not serving them. I see stuff like that. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. But it's just 2 places in the world that I've heard about it. In New Zealand and this place in America. It's got to be the whole world over. And we've got to cast aside our differences and come together to do this. Stop hating on your fellow human beings. Stop seeing mankind as human beings. Stop acting as human beings and act and be man. It's the only way to change. It's the only way to change. And you've got to understand everything that controls you. Not just the COVID pandemic and what's come from it. As I was lying in bed, I thought about what's happening in Carolina, North Carolina and Tennessee. The land grab. America don't give a fuck about its citizens and patriots as long as they call themselves citizens and patriots. They don't fear them. They don't fear anybody that's going to vote for them to put them back in. They fear man. That's why they want to get rid of your guns. They fear man. And, you know, look, some of you have only recently woke up and still haven't grasped what happened on September the 11th, 2001. How America and Israel conspired together in order to pursue an agenda outside of their borders. They killed their own people when three towers, not two, 3 towers fell, and a plane landed in a field, and a plane landed in a specific, so we're told, it was a missile, but a plane landed in a specific spot in a government building where it just so happened that they used to keep account of all the money there and whatever, which the day before on national television a representative of the government openly admitted that they can't account for over $1 trillion. People have forgotten all that. I ain't. People say people have forgotten about it. Most of you that have only started this journey since COVID have little or no idea, understanding or appreciation of what went on before. Some of us have, because we've been on that journey a lot longer. And you try to talk about that to the so-called awake. You look at the meme coming up, the fishbowl and whatever. The so-called awake. And they're in fear. We're not the same. As you'll see as I go on dropping these memes, the woke and the awake, they're not the same. You might have woke up to COVID, but you ain't awake to the rest of the stuff. You really ain't. And it's a shame. It's a pity. Because we're never going to do anything until you wake up to everything. Or at least a greater percentage of everything. Our stolen history. The pharmaceutical industry, started by Rockefeller. The educational system, funded and started by Rockefeller and his ilk, in order to control us. The fluoride in the water and everything else. It works. It fucking works. Let your eye be single. Most of the world can't see what's happening with 2 eyes. They've got absolutely no hope with just one. And yet, that's your most powerful weapon in all this. Your most powerful weapon is to let your eye be single. And most folk can't see what's going on with 2 eyes. Don't want to see. They're in fear. They're full of ego. Look, there it is. Look at that meme. There it is. Brilliant meme when I see that. And funny enough, I got that off Stand in the Park. You know, I don't... Sorry, you know, I'm not laughing at you and taking the piss. I'm trying to wake you up, for pity's sake. Trying to wake you up. I often post my uploads on Bradley's site and on the Stand in the Park UK on Facebook. Never get any. Well, occasionally Bradley just give it a thumbs up or whatever. He obviously doesn't listen to it and whatever. I started a stand in the park on MeWe for people that were awake and wanted to leave Facebook. 2 or 3 years back I started that. But no, they're just woke and they stay in the heart of the piece. Yeah, I'm there. But I'm using Facebook. My agenda is to try and get my awareness that I bring to you out to empower, enlighten and enable you so that one day when you truly wake up there won't be a Facebook. All the awake people that at one time woke and become awake would have left Facebook. Look at the money Zuckerberg makes off you while he's controlling you and telling you what you can write and what you can't write. It's still, you stay there. I'm trying to wake you up to that. I really am. Trying to wake you up to that, but no, as I said in my last upload, you can tell they're not awake because as soon as you put, like me, as soon as I start publishing an upload and sharing it, people start just giving it a thumbs up, and that's all you ever get from them, a thumbs up. And don't come back and say to you, that was a load of bollocks, I've watched that, it's a load of bollocks. Or they don't come back to you and say, oh, that was good. Or they don't share it. They're in the trance. Brain dead. Really brain dead. And I'm not saying that I'm providing the answers and I'm the panacea to all that's wrong. But I know, without a shadow of a doubt, there ain't many people talking as honestly as I am. And doing it for the reasons I'm doing it. Because it's the right thing to do. And I do it for the right reasons. I don't want you to buy me books, DVDs, T-shirts, this, that and the other, or fuck knows what else. I want you to let your eye be single. And as it says underneath my broadcast, which I've mentioned for a while, this come as an awareness. Focus, love, light and good intention on the temple of Seti in Abydos. Because I know that 6,024 years ago, that's the Masonic calendar by the way, they're in the year 6024. 6,024 years ago, at the temple of Seti in Abydos, utilising the pyramids and everything else around there, a portal was opened to allow dark and nefarious demonic satanic forces into this third dimensional reality. And they haven't fucking left. They haven't fucking left. And they won't leave. No need for them to leave. All the while we keep feeding them. And we do. We keep feeding them. We keep eating at their trough, dancing at their altar, and chasing their money. And that's ultimately what it boils down to. This artificially created means of exchange called money. As you doing, as us doing, all sorts of things. We think for ourselves, but no, it's for our masters. When are you going to wake up to this, people? When are you going to wake up to it? It's all right being woke, but you've got to be awake. You've got to be awake. And here am I at 1:05 in the morning, awake, because I can't sleep, because all this stuff troubles me and I have to find a way to vocalise it to empower, enlighten and enable my fellow man. And all I end up doing, in the majority of cases, is talking to human beings. You wouldn't want to walk a mile in my shoes. You wouldn't want to spend a minute in my head. I want you to spend a minute in my head. I want you to walk a mile in my shoes. Not to be like me, but so you know that there is a path to walk. There's no destination on this path. It's a journey, that's all it is. To transmute from the physical into the spiritual, from the spiritual into the soul conscious self. And all I ever see at best is people becoming spiritual and then talking about it non-fucking stop in an egotistical manner. And it's full of fucking ignorance. You're no better off in the spiritual than you are in the physical. Absolutely no better off. My 40-year journey has taught me this. I don't come to teach you it. I'm not a teacher. I have no title other than the name my parents give me, Barry. But you can call me Baz, you can call me Basil. Don't call me late for dinner, my nan used to say. You can throw insults at me if you want, and anything else. Do anything you want, and I'll keep continuing doing what I'm here to do. To share knowledge, information, to empower, enlighten and enable you so you can teach yourself. Nobody outside of you can teach you what you are here to learn. They can only share the knowledge that you need in order that you may learn and teach yourself. And that's what I do here. That's what I do here and what I continue to do here. Think about what you've heard here. Visit my main BitChute channel. Open the description box below and have a good look. All my contact details for social media are there, including my email address, where, as I've said before, if you're in England, contact me, send me an email like Chris has done recently from Essex, give him my number, and we had a quick chat today while he's waiting for his dad, who he's a carer for. Or if you're abroad anywhere, I'll give him Sky Paddy and we can talk on there. And if I can help you personally, then contact me. If not, keep listening to what I'm producing here and share it. If it resonates with you, share it on your social media, in Telegram, in your emails, this, that, and the other, in your groups. Share it. Share the message. Don't share me. Palamia, thank you. In Lakesh, in you I see another me. Mitachui o Yasin. We are all related, we're all relatives, and I tell you, and I'll keep telling you, we're all connected. Stop being human and learn what it is to be man. And we make a difference. I'm now going to process this, present it to BitChute, my 2 channels on BitChute, Odyssey, Rumble, Brighteon and YouTube. Then I'm going to try going back to bed and sleeping again. Because now I have spoken. And once more, the rest is up to you.